Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's a beautiful sunny day today in paradise, and I have some breaking news for you. The Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, has been found guilty of war crimes. Yes, the International Criminal Court, the ICC, today found the Prime Minister of Israel guilty for war crimes against the Palestine. And it's breaking news today, my friends. It's the first time ever an Israeli Prime Minister would have been found guilty for war crimes. And you know, Israel and Palestine would have been fighting for something like 70 something years, my friends. And CNN, this news is coming from CNN and all the different media platforms. I will read right now for you, my friends. The International Criminal Court has issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, and senior official of Hamas, and accused them of war crimes during and after the October 7th attacks on Israel last year. This is significant because we know the Israeli is backed by the United States and the International Criminal Court. You must be asking, what is the International Criminal Court? Let me just read for you what exactly is the International Criminal Court. The International Criminal Court, ICC, is a global court that prosecutes individuals for the most serious crimes of concern to the international community. These crimes are genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, and crimes of aggression. The ICC is the first and only permanent international court with the jurisdiction. It was established in 2002 in The Hague, Netherlands. Netherlands is Europe. After 60 countries signed the Rome Statute in 1998, so 60 countries signed on to this. The headquarters of the ICC is in Europe. The purpose of the ICC is to hold rogue leaders responsible for atrocities. The jurisdiction of the ICC. The ICC jurisdiction includes execution without trial, murder, deportation, torture, rape, and acts committed with the intent to destroy a nation, ethnic or religious groups. The role of the ICC. The ICC is a court of the last resort that seeks to implement, not replace, national court. The governance of the ICC. The ICC is governed by the Rome Statute, an international treaty in Europe. The court is in Europe, an international court. We know that this court is a very serious court, my friends. Started to prosecute nations, leaders of nations, president, prime ministers. This court is for them. And in a statement, this is what the ICC is saying. In a statement Thursday, in the Netherlands-based court said it found reasonable grounds to believe that Netanyahu bears criminal responsibility for war crimes. Includes, these are the crimes that they accused. They said they found the Prime Minister of Israel responsible for. Prime Minister of Israel is responsible for starvation, use starvation as a method of warfare, and the crime against humanity of murder, prosecution, and other inhumane acts. This warrant marks a historic first, making Netanyahu the first Israeli leader summoned by the International Criminal Court for alleged actions against Palestine in a 76-year conflict. While the ICC don't guarantee arrests, they could significantly restrict Netanyahu's ability to travel to ICC member states. So over 60 countries signed on to the International Criminal Court. What does this mean? The Israeli Prime Minister, he cannot travel to these 60-something countries. If he travels, they will arrest him as he enters the airport. So he is now under arrest by the International Criminal Court. Netanyahu is saying he's not going anywhere. He does not recognize the arrest. And the US, of course, is supporting the Prime Minister of Israel. This is a read from the US. The US opposed ICC action against Israeli. This came out today. The Biden administration has in the past come out strongly against the involvement of the ICC and the investigation against Israel's war in Gaza, but said in its past that it will not support sanctions against the International Court. In a statement in May, President Biden said the ICC prosecutor's application for arrest warrant against Israeli is outrageous. And this is what Biden is saying. Let it be clear, whatever this prosecutor might imply, there is no evidence, none, between Israel and Hamas, he said. We will always stand with Israel against threats to its security. So Biden is saying there is no evidence. Well, the evidence is all over. You see the videos. You see the clips, the statement by the Prime Minister and his Defense Minister, who are now under arrest by the International Criminal Court for war and crimes against humanity. Starvation is one of them. Israel and Palestine is a unique situation. Most people don't know Palestine is surrounded by Israel. They're not allowed to travel. People inside Palestine are not allowed to travel. The Israeli has military bases all around Palestine. They control their electricity. They control their water. They control everything in Palestine. So for Israel to attack the whole of Palestine, no. They can turn off their water, turn off their electricity. They can starve them because there's no food. In order for food to get to Palestine, it has to go through Israel. So this is what they're accused of: starvation. They're starving the people in Palestine. Starving them. That is inhumane. That is a war crime. We saw the news that the bombing of hospitals, women and children, people in hospitals with limbs blown off, and the Israelis they're still bombing those hospitals. They flatten whole communities. I understand the plan is to wipe out everybody in Palestine, and then Israel will occupy those lands and build a new Israeli state inside the community. So it's genocide. That is what is happening in Israel. Genocide and war crime. That is why the International Criminal Court today found the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, guilty of war crimes. So the ICC is now asking, they sent out an arrest warrant. What is that? If you know you're under arrest and the police send out an arrest warrant for you, wherever you are, and they find you, they can arrest you. Once they find you, they arrest you. That is what the ICC put on Benjamin Netanyahu. the Prime Minister of Israel today. It's a serious thing. This is a leader of a country, a first world country, found guilty. He is actually guilty now of war crimes, so he's under arrest by the ICC. The United States House met today. They want to sanction the ICC. How can you sanction 60-something nations? Many of them are European countries who signed on to the International Criminal Court. This is a UN organization. This is a United Nations organization. And if Israel and the United States is not going to abide by what the ICC says today, why should any other nation abide by the rules and regulations of the ICC? If they're not going to listen to a UN organization, well, it doesn't make any sense we continue these organizations if they're going to be useless and only arrest leaders of, let's say, African and Caribbean countries, and they cannot do anything to, let's say, the United States, Israel, Canada, those countries, the UK, leaders of those countries, they cannot do anything to them. Then I render that International Criminal Court useless. It is of no help to us, my friends. War crime is illegal. Israel need to stop the bombardment of Palestine. Many world leaders came out against Israel. They say no more. Free Palestine. All Palestine is asking for is a country. They just want a state, which means they want their own country in Palestine. They're not asking to own Israel. They're not asking to occupy Israel. All they want is their own country. They are Muslims. Israeli are of another religion. They are Asians, Arabs. Israeli is white Europeans. So it's different people. How did Israel get to Palestine? After World War II, 1940 something, I think. After Germany would have expelled many Jews from Germany, then the United States and the United Kingdom met and they decided to talk to Palestine. There was no such thing as Israel before 1940 something. The whole region there that they say is Israel and Palestine. All of that was Palestine. It was the goodness of the Palestine people. They welcomed those Jews who were being persecuted in Germany by Hitler. They welcomed them in as refugees into their countries from Europe. That's where the Jews came from, Europe. They welcomed them in. And when they welcomed them in, bit by bit, they started to take more land and more land and more land. And then war broke out because the Palestine people said, look, you're trying to take over our own country now. You're taking over everything, no more expansion. We were kind to you. We say we welcome you, but now you're trying to take over the whole country. And then that was the start of the conflict, my friends, and it would have lasted up to 70-something years. It's still going on today, and this seemed to be the final phase of Israel to wipe out the whole of Palestine. But the International Criminal Court says no more. We cannot have this. And that is why they stepped in today with this verdict and found Israel guilty of war crime. Too much bombardment, hospitals down, people are being starved, all sorts of atrocities, my friends. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, comment, let me know your thoughts and opinion. Please like this video, share it with all your friends and family. And most importantly, subscribe to my channel. My name is Bjorn. I'm in the Caribbean right now. Caribbean island nation paradise called St. Kitts and Nevis. Beautiful day today. Thank you for watching my video. Please comment your thoughts. Let's have a wonderful interaction. And of course, I will see you again in the next video. Much love. Bye-bye for now.